come out here week in, week out to prophesy the downfall of America, to let the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans know that they are the true children of Israel according to the Bible. To let the so-called white man know that he is Esau according to the scriptures, and America is going to be destroyed in the Third World War, which is a nuclear war. We give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahshai, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS, and blessings to the brothers in this truth, enduring with sincerity. Now today is so-called Easter. We're here to prove through the we're here to prove through the scriptures that Easter is not scriptural, it's not in the Bible, and if you celebrate Easter, you're gonna be destroyed by doing that.
Just so they don't get silly out there, them Christians, them so-called Christians, they will use the book of Acts, they will use the book of Acts when it speaks of Easter. When if you read the book of Acts with context clues, it's obviously not talking about Easter. It's talking about the Passover. All right. Okay. So,
and even when you go into the Greek, that word Easter, the word there is Pesach, which means Passover. So the apostles wasn't celebrating no damn bunny with no Easter eggs and shit. They was holding the high holy day of Passover, which commemorates judgment on Egypt when we came out of there. Just like, this is the time of the Passover right now. And we held the ceremony, to condemn this place. Because that's what's going to come to this place, man. That same killing spirit is going to kill America. And, Lord willing, to pass over the elect and we get out this place. Well, it is going to pass over the elect. Lord willing, we're the elect and we get passed over.
All right, I'll get straight into it. It's Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
That's right, learn not the way of the heathen. Because all these rituals, all these so-called holidays, those are the ways of the heathen, the pagans. That's not scriptural. It tell you in the books of the law, in Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Exodus, in those books, it tell you the high holy days, the Passover, the Day of Atonement, the Pentecost. The Purim, the first fruits. Those are the days that, Jake don't know nothing about.
Even the Holy Sabbath.
The Sabbath.
It says, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
That's right, man. When you see like the stars lining up, or you see the planetary alignments, those fucking devils, man, they get off on that shit. Because like Mars is the god of war. Saturn, where you get Saturday, where you get Saturnalia. All this shit is spiritual. And they worship that shit, man. We're not supposed to worship that shit or be afraid of it. When we see signs in the heaven, that's when we know that our power is coming back. When we see eclipses and new moons, those are the signs that we look for. We ain't looking to get no power off of goddamn 3 planetary alignment. That's just a sign saying that Yahweh Bashim Yahshai coming to fuck this place up. Oh yeah. All right, yeah. All right, well, hold on. Start this article real quick. So we're gonna go into the origins of Easter.
All right, this is from LastTrumpetMinistries.org. It says the pagan origin of Easter.
That's right. It didn't say the Bible origin of Easter or the Christian origin of Easter. It said the pagan. Why? Because that's exactly what it is. if you do your research, back in the I believe it's the 300s, what's his, fuck, I just had it. What's his name? You able to see? The ruler of the Roman Empire. No. Fuck. Slovakia. Constantine, what he did when he took over the Roman Empire, he wanted it to be everybody to have the same religion, basically. So before it was called the pagan Roman Empire, or known as the pagan Roman Empire, the latter is known as the Holy Roman Empire because everybody became Christians. But like I said, Constantine wanted everybody to be under one umbrella, so to speak. So he took the Christian so-called holidays and aligned them with the pagan holidays so that everybody could basically be happy. So you get the birth of so-called Jesus Christ, which is Yahweh Shai, but for the camera we're gonna say Jesus Christ because we're talking about actual pagan rituals. That's why it's Jesus Christ's birthday, not Yahweh Shai. But that's how you get Christmas on the winter solstice. That's why you get Easter on the spring solstice. That's where you get all this other BS from. It's basically everything that you celebrate is pagan. That's what they did. Go ahead and get back to the article, brother.
All right, it says Easter is a day that is honored by nearly all contemporary Christians and is used to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. The holiday often involves a church service at sunrise, a feast which includes, quote, Easter ham, unquote, decorated...
We said Easter ham.
Easter ham.
Ham is against the fucking scriptures. And that's what they doing in the churches. They eating the Easter ham.
Right now. It says decorated eggs and stories about rabbits.
Right, which rabbit is a mammal. Rabbits don't lay eggs. They have their babies live babies.
It says those who love truth learn to ask questions, and many questions must be asked regarding the holiday of Easter.
That's right, man. The men of the Lord, the men in His truth, we asked those questions. That's how we got here. Because we knew that something wasn't right. So we asked questions. And we were led by the Spirit here.
Is it truly the day when Jesus arose from the dead? I'm going to say Yahweh Shai. We don't want to affiliate Yahweh Shai with this bullshit. It says, is it truly the day when Jesus rose from the dead? Where did all the strange customs come from, which have nothing to do with the resurrection of our Savior? The purpose of this tract is to help answer those questions and to help those who seek truth to draw their own conclusions. The first thing we must understand is that professing Christians were not the only ones who celebrated a festival called Easter.
And not only that, even here today, Easter is moved to align with the spring equinox. That's why so-called Easter Sunday is always the first Sunday. Yeah, it's always the first Sunday before the spring equinox. That's why it's sometimes in April, sometimes in late March, but it moves. It's never on the same day. At least December 25th is Christmas, but April 18th might be Easter, April 12th, March 28th, If it's that day, then it should be that day, not that time. And not only that, it's always the wrong day, because
you're fine.
Am I okay? Okay, I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh no, you're good. So-called Jesus supposedly died on Friday and rose on Sunday, but that's 2 days. You got Friday to Saturday, Saturday to Sunday. If it was 2 days, or if it was 3 days, then he would have rose on Monday, or he just got put down on Thursday. That proves that the Sabbath is not Sunday.
says, it's, quote,
Hold on, Slacky. Also, another thing about Easter, they celebrated two different days depending on where you're at in the world. Because here on the western half, we go off the Gregorian calendar, so we celebrate it at a certain time. And on the other side of the world, they go off the Julian calendar, so they celebrate it on a whole nother day in the same year. So how can that be the so-called day that Jesus, rose from his death? But you niggas don't do your research.
it says, quote, Ishtar, unquote, which is pronounced Easter, was a day that commemorated the resurrection of the one of their gods that they called Tammuz.
That's right. It's gonna go into the story of Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz.
It says one of their gods called Tammuz, who was believed to be the only begotten son of the moon goddess and the sun god.
Where you get a lot of, quote, Jesus Christ holidays or whatnot. They're actually Tammuz, who is supposed to be the son of the sun god, and Yahushai, who is the actual son of the Most High. Like I said, they're just aligning the pagan holidays to go along with the scriptures.
It says, in those ancient times, there was a man named Nimrod, who was the grandson of one of Noah's sons named Ham.
That's right. This is all scriptural.
Ham had a son named Cush, who married a woman named Semiramis. Cush and Semiramis then had a son named Nimrod. After the death of his father, Nimrod married his own mother and became a powerful king.
That's right.
It says the Bible tells of this man, Nimrod, in Genesis 10 verse 8 through 10 as follows.
Right. Nimrod was the first king of Babylon, which this is Babylon right now, which we believe through the Spirit, Obama is Nimrod coming back, because he's a Cushite, and Nimrod was a Cushite, and he's the king of Babylon right now. Yeah.
And Cush, and just to add on to that, these goddamn so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, I say at least the Negroes, y'all still want this nigga to stay in office, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all thinking he has dark skin, let the black man, we gonna miss him when he's gone, man. That's a goddamn Hamite, man. That's a goddamn African.
If anything, you know what I'm saying, but Ben Carson, who's actually a fucking Republican, who's an actual J, when he ran, nobody want that nigga. Now you got him endorsing Trump. So man, you niggas don't know what the fuck you want.
Reading on, it says, and Cush begat Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Wherefore is it said,